largest lithium deposit, and the DoD just entered into an agreement with this company right here to mine lithium for electric cars starting in 2025. Now that area is completely devastated. This was a $90 million agreement between the DoD and this company right here to get Kings Mountain, North Carolina lithium mine up and running by 2030. If that area has been inundated, is in a disaster zone, then the government can come in and do eminent domain, and they can pay you what it was worth 5 years ago rather than what it's worth right now. Imagine that your home has turned into a watery lot and the government comes to you and says, hey, I'll pay you what you paid for it. You're gonna take it and you're gonna go, right? What do you think is going to happen right here now that they want this lithium mine up and running by 2025, 2030 at the latest? Back in 1947, we had the Florida Georgia hurricane, or Hurricane 9, and it was the first hurricane to be targeted for weather modification. What happened was General Electric, the US Navy, the Army, the Air Force, they poured dry ice into this hurricane using airplanes to see what would happen. Would they slow it down? Well, what happened was it slowed down a little bit, but it turned west really sharp. Let me show you. This is the path that the hurricane took in 1947. Does it look similar to you? Probably not. It's a coincidence, right? Moving on. I'm sure this is just another coincidence, but do you know who owns the most shares in that lithium mine? BlackRock and Vanguard.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and few sisters out there. Onto the Zai furnace from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in Hebrew, which means peace. And, you know, we call the so-called white man the devil. People look at us like we got 3 heads. We call and tell the people that this man is operating on the left-hand side of the Lord. People look at us like we're crazy. But when you have a lot of what they'll say coincidence, or things just befitting him for his benefit after a disaster, you got to ask yourself this question: is he really the devil? And the answer to that, the answer should be right in front of your face. And this is how much power this man has over the minds of the people. When the obvious thing is obvious, let's say the saying in the world, follow the money. And every time you follow the money, it's always the same people that's on top. But it's not those people. It's the people that's beneath them. It's the people that surround them. This man has put in the minds of the people to not even look at him when it's clear and obvious that he is the devil that the Bible speaks of. So here it is. This hurricane path so happens to be in the path where this mining area was. And I was watching another guy was breaking it down, how the government already had came up to them. And now, all of a sudden, those people don't have no homes, no nothing. But this rich material that is there. This man don't give 2 shits about his own fucking people. If your people is poor and then there's a rock, a gold rock, silver, anything, natural resource, and you discover, you think you're gonna get yourself out of poverty. Oh, you're gonna get yourself out of poverty, all right? You're gonna get yourself into more poverty, and then he's gonna put your ass in debt. This is the attitude of Esau. All right? This is the mentality of the devil. And everybody pretends like it's not there in front of your face because he got you in mass hypnosis. He got you on witchcraft. All right? He deceived the minds of all. He deceived the mind of all to make sure that nobody sees him. All right. This is why, you know, when you go into like the Israelis, and this whole situation is going down, how they play the part of the victim, and at the same time they play the part of the people, the aggressor. And people fall for it. You know, everybody's starting to wake up, but people fall for it. Isaiah 14 and go to 4. It says, "Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, How art the oppressor ceased, and the golden city ceased? The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers." So Isaiah 14th chapter, in case people don't know, is a future prophecy. It states that meaning that it has not happened yet. But in the kingdom of heaven, when it's all said and done, people is gonna be looking like, this is the guy that did a lot of things to this world, which is gonna say, all right. It says, "Who smote the people in wrath with continuing stroke." So when you go to continuous stroke, Balath, yeah. Wait, is this the same word? Slakia. Oh, they put it together? Huh. Not exempt. Proceed, nope. No, this is not. That has a different meaning. Alright. It says, use as a negative particular, usually with a prepositional prefix, not exempt, without, unless, beside, because, not, until, because, nope, this is not the word. What is it, this word? It's not the word. Slakia. I'm going to go to use it. It's a blue letter. I don't know. The blue letter be tripping sometimes. Isaiah 14 and 6. Yeah. Keyword is stroke, right? There you go. It's makal. Blow, wound, slaughter. Blow, stripe, beaten, scourge. Wound, slaughter, defeat, conquest, plague. So he continuously brings terror. He continuously undermine and destroy people. And even got to the point of people of his own. They give two shits about everybody out here. This is why the longshoremen or union is stating these people are making billions of dollars and not giving the people no crumbs. And he said, the longshoremen, you could look at it and say, oh, they make a lot of money. But for all the work that they do, and people making billions of dollars, you think the shit will go down the pipeline. They should be getting more money. And the truckers should get more money. The unions should get more money. The people that goes and put these things into supermarkets should get more money. The people that's in the supermarket that bust their ass here and there, even though we sometimes you look at them as, oh, you're just down. They should be getting more money. But it don't work like that in this society. Why? Because the greedy stay greedy. All right, the rich get richer and give two shits about the people that's under him. And it says, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, none hindereth. So it gives you the idea who the king of Babylon is. It says the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. They break forth Slakia. Yeah, they break forth into singing. So this is the only time that the planet Earth is gonna receive any sort of peace. The concept of peace in Earth is when Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the unjust ruler, all right, the unwise king, which I was gonna bring it out. I don't have to bring it out. All right, that's destroyed his own people. Esau is that unjust king that's destroying his own people. Now you have disasters in the mid-south. You have hyperinflation that's about to take place. But yet, that welfare state is going to get all the money that they need for their war. Ukraine is gonna get all what they need, but the average American in America, who's paying their taxes, who's doing what they gotta do, can't get a break for it to save their life. This man is wicked. All right, but it needs to be. This is the only way everything will find peace. Proving that you are what the scriptures say. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise of iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand." Meaning they have the power. The Lord gave this man the power. This is why he's in the rulership. Because he's in rulership, that doesn't mean that he's a right king. The scriptures tell you that the Lord will make even the basis of man to be ruler. And this is the base of men. So they passed laws, right? Like was it last year? Maybe it was last year. Maybe a year after that. I'm not too sure. Where they had a lot of disasters. All of a sudden, it was last year. Trains was being derailed that had chemicals. And prior to all these trains that's being derailed that had chemicals, the U.S. government passed a law where states that if a natural disaster takes place into a place, the government would seize that land. All they're exercising that shit. All right, they're exercising all of it. He's stealing from his own citizens. All right, treating his citizens like they're nothing. So it says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and that's how America was established. The Hebrew word for covet is kamad, desire, covet, to take pleasure in, delight in, to desire, to be desirable, to like greatly, desire greatly, desirableness, preciousness. So they desire something, and they'll find any means necessary to get that. They're gonna take it by force. That's why the scripture says what? Remove not thy neighbor's landmark. What they did to Gad, Reuben, all right, Issachar. In the Americas, they stole the land. They stole the whole goddamn continent. Placed their own people in it, and still steal from their own people that they established here. If he's not the true nigga, then I don't know what to say. You know, they'll call blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans the worst people on the planet Earth, but I don't recall them stealing lands and stealing names. You had the Indian Removal Act, and when they removed all the Gad, Reuben from Florida, majority of them, what did they do? They had, that's what the term $5 Indian comes from. They were selling land, and here people came that were not Indian, what they call Indian, which were Reuben, and Gad. You had Edomites going there, taking the land and claiming to be Indian. You had a Edomite woman that basically said that. She was breaking it down. So this man takes what he wants. He take it by force. All right? He's known for that. It says, and take them away, so they oppress a man and his house. Oh, shit. How can I forget? Maui. Was it Maui? Yeah, Maui. Last year. All right? So happens, was it a storm or something like that? Which was not a storm. And everything that was under a blue tent, or had the color blue, didn't get burned. They took the whole entire island, and where the rich people at in that particular island, none of their homes got affected. So this is why the Lord is gonna completely annihilate. He's gonna annihilate Esau, Edom, because of the fact of what they did to Israel. That's all. That's the only thing. But he just adding more to his time, to his punishment. He says, "And his house, even a man in his heritage." All right. So what comes around goes around, and hopefully all those Edomites, all right, that's down there that they got affected, and now you know how it feels. Now you know how it feels. And it says, back to Isaiah 14:8, "Yet the fir tree rejoiced at thee, and the cedar of Lebanon, saying, that since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against you." That's twofold: the literal trees and the people. All right. Oh, and Lebanon's in the news because that fucking those vermins are attacking Lebanon. All right. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is about to show the world who you are. I'm gonna just jump down. I don't want to make this too long. It says, verse 16. "And they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?" And that's talking about Esau in the kingdom of heaven, where all the other nations gonna see this prominent man, this man that was in the position of a god, that was looked upon. Everything that he did, everybody mimicked. Everybody wanted to do. That was just the key to success, is to be like him, smell like him, to dress like him, to eat like him, to walk like him. And you would succeed in this world, be ruthless like him. All right. He took everything that other nations done and amplified the wickedness that they did. They like, damn, I know my forefathers was bad, but y'all some bad individuals. So when they see them in the kingdom of heaven, in position of where they're supposed to be, their true natural position, where everybody have forgotten, because this man came straight from the caves. All right. Who didn't have a language, who didn't have nothing. And now because he put a suit and tie, shave off his fucking beard, stand upright. Now everybody looking at him like he's a god. Well, guess what? In the kingdom of heaven, he's going to be grunting. He's going to be hairy. He's going to be the worst thing that ever. And people's going to know, like, oh, get this shit away from me. Like I said in Job, the 30th chapter. All right. It says that made the world as a wilderness. He's willing to even destroy his own. For what? Land. For what? For position. All right. And destroy the cities thereof, that open not the house of the prisoners. And America is the land of criminals, man. They harvest nothing but people in jail for pastime. Where, according to the scriptures, somebody do something harsh to a wicked sin, like murder, yeah, even adultery, you're supposed to put them to death. This man just said, nope, we're going to put your ass in prison so you can put you back into slavery. But this is the greatest place in the world, right? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house, because eventually the nations are going to have their own land. All right, all the other nations are going to have their own land, but they're going to pay tributary to us. So they're going to have a fair deal. They will have a fair deal, because somebody got to cultivate the land. We're not going to do shit. All right, this is completely trading places. And it says, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, as a remnant of those that are slain. Something that's disgusting. You see shit in the floor, you're gonna walk away from that shit. All right, you're gonna walk away from a dead body and so forth if it's vile and disgusting. Yeah, some people's gonna pick it up, but all your natural instinct is like, nah, ew, get this thing away. That's how the Lord sees Esau, thrust through with a sword that go down to the stones of the pit, and there's a carcass that trod underfoot. that shall not be joined with them in burial. Meaning you're not going to be joined with these other nations. You're not going to have land in your name. You're not going to have nothing. And this is the key point. This is the whole premise of the show. Because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. They got the HARP program when they deliberately using the HARP as a weapon. They're using weather as a weapon to clear out land, to kill off people, so that way they can steal the land. This man's a fucking devil, because all these things is happening. The Lord said, these are what you did to his people is the worst thing that you could ever do, and what you're doing to your, even to your own. That's what it says in let me get this real quick. Sirach 14:3. It says, riches are not comely to a niggard, and what shall an envious man do with money? A niggard is basically a greedy individual, can never be satisfied. He that gathereth by defrauding his own soul gathers for others, that shall spend his goods righteously. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? So if he's evil to himself, meaning how he's going to be evil to himself? To his own people. This is why all the Edomites in the world getting upset, because they're not getting a piece of the pie. Out of all the Edomites, the Edomites really hate the most? The small hatters, because they're not giving any of them a piece of the pie. They're giving them breadcrumbs, and they're the same people. This is why I was watching Bill Maher show. I forgot this guy's name. It was Ian. I think Ian. It's coming to my head. Ian something. I can't remember. It's off with a B. And he was talking Bill Maher and that guy Noah Harvari, whatever. And he basically said, he was talking about the whole situation with that land, the gutter rats. And Ian said, you know, I'm not a small hat-ish. And I understand, like, he understand what they're going, like, he can't really speak for them. And Bill Maher jumped in quick and said, no, I'm not one of them. Real quick. Why? Because it's all about being in crypto. They got to hide themselves. All right? You could talk about anybody under the sun, but you can't talk about those people. The media trembles at the fact of talking about those people. So what do the other people do that's like them? They talk shit about them. All right? When all information comes bad about Esau, who's really talking and who they really aiming at? They aiming at the small hatters, because they treat their own worse. All right? They even call their own Esau. So they, automatically they want to destroy them. So what it said is, if Satan is divided against himself, how can his kingdom stand? The answer to that, it will not stand. All right? It will not stand at all. It says, there's none worse than he that's envy himself. And this is a recompense of his wickedness. So they envy themselves. They see, oh man, I was watching, Uncut Gem. And we don't see that world. We don't see that side of the world. We see comedy clips of everything, and everything's hunky-dory when they get together. They vow, but not, but there was a scene where the guy who played in MASH many years ago, he even played the father of this other rat in Independence Day. So he's playing the father of Adam Sandler, which is also a small hatter. And they was doing their Passover, and they was watching the game, having like a little family function, and all they could be talking about is money. All they talk about was money. And you could tell, you could just see, like, they wasn't acting. They was pretty much giving you a glimpse how they are. And you could see for the moments that they was talking about, when Adam Sandler character was talking about a gem that he has, like, yeah, this like multi-million-dollar gem. And then he's like, oh, you about to be rich. And you could see the hatred in front of all of them. All right? But we don't see that. We see like they always united, they always together. But we don't see that the deep hatred they have towards one another with finances. But all that fraudulent shit that they're doing, and the only reason why they still united, because the Lord wants that. But the elites, well, we don't see that the elites, there's a lot of infighting amongst themselves. There's a lot of what's the word I'm saying? Thinking of. There's a lot of infighting. There's a lot of not gainsay, that talk shit about each other, but they keep it among themselves. But that's the worst type of person to be. You know, this is why the Lord, when he came down, he told Israel certain things that was only dealing with Israel, not to go to the other nations for if you got something against your brother and so forth. But these people envy themselves. They envy their riches. Yeah, Jake does it all the time. You know why Jake does it? Because they goddamn poor. But when the very rich people, the Rothschilds, the Oppenheimers, the Gettys, I believe the Sif or the Schiff were an older family before the Rothschilds became like the prominent family. The Carnegies and so forth, they had to take each other out. You know, they sweep under the rug. Even though what's going on in the land of Israel right now, a lot of people can't stand that Benjamin Netanyahu got character. But he's trying to satisfy one side. They wanted to kick this guy out, and he did what he did so he could stay in power. So there's a lot of infighting amongst themselves. It says, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. So all the time that it was given, you other Edomites, you other white people, all right, so-called white people, perks to be white. The whole concept of being white was to separate you so the poor whites and the poor blacks couldn't come together. So they gave you that title so you could have a certain privilege about yourself, right? The only reason they did it, they didn't do it to be unwilling, because they didn't want their world to collapse right then and there. So this is why they had to hide themselves even in depths. Where they're pointing now, you can't even talk shit about them at all. That's why they created an organization called the ADL. All right? It said at the last, he will declare his wickedness. And right now, he's declaring his wickedness. He is declaring his wickedness. He's willing to destroy his own land, his own thing, just to steal his own people's land. To bring in a whole bunch of other people in to take other people's jobs so he could pay them cheaper and pay you nothing. This is a part of the New World Order, the great culling. And they don't see a lot of their own people fit. All right? The envious man having a wicked eye and turneth away his face and despise men. And we go back to this. Let me finish this off. It says, back to Isaiah 14 and 20. I shall not join them, talking about the other nations, with them in burial, not having rest, not having land, because you're going to be a complete slave. You're going to be utterly destroyed after 1,000 years, because that has destroyed thy land. So Esau was blessed. Yeah, shit. He even got the land of Israel today. And what is he doing? He's not doing nothing good by it or by the people, the citizens of that land. And the slain thy people, the seed of evildoers, showing that is a man, because only men bear seed, right? A lineage. So the Lord called them a seed of evildoers. This is why the scripture says in 2 Ezra 6 and 7, 6, 7, 8, that Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the beginning of that followeth. So if Esau is the end of the world as you see it is caused by him. Who's in a part of the world? Everybody. So he's the one that's causing all these turmoils and so forth. So the Lord said, look, that seed of evildoers shall never be renowned, so never come back into power. And this is it. All right, because it's clear as day what the hell they doing, and out of greed, going back to 2020, gave everybody $600. All right, plus what you was making in unemployment, then tax the shit out of you to get that money back, $20,000. he gave to people that had a PPE loan. Said that, oh, you guys never have to pay us back. Locked up a whole bunch of people, yes, for fraud, but there was some people that actually had legitimate business and they had to pay that shit back off. So this guy don't give two shits about anybody. That's why he don't care about the longshoremen strike. They don't give a fuck about that. Notice how the longshoremen thing went down and all of a sudden focus on Israel and Iran and so forth, right? And knowing that what's gonna happen if the shit goes down the way it's supposed to go down. They don't give two shits about any citizen that they under them. Alright? Because he's a cruel ruler. It says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. Yes, the Bible speaks about revenge of what the forefathers did, because it's fresh in the mind of the Lord, and you are your forefathers. Alright? So the Lord is saying, prepare slaughter for you. It says that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. So no longer will they have influences in the world. Alright? No longer will they will immerse the world with their wickedness. The Lord is about to shut this man down forever. Alright? For I will raise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, the remnant, the son, the nephew, saith the Lord. That's all male that's within the family. In other words, that bloodline no longer is going to exist. The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is about to genocide, wipe out an entire people. And he's justified by doing it, and the world's about to see. Alright? The world's about to see, starting with those small hatters that claim to be God's chosen people on the planet Earth. The Lord's about to start with them. That's the head of them. Alright? That's causing all these problems in the world and making every single person, man, woman, and child's lives miserable. Alright? That has a plan to destroy the majority of people in the world. That's poisoning the air, that's poisoning the food, poisoning everything. What you have plotted out for others, it shall come unto you. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation Israel. Shalom.